I'm standing on the border of the north of Israel. Literally moments ago, I had a massive explosion, which I'm guessing the IDF are bombing somewhere in Lebanon. And it reminds me of this week's Parashat Vayetze. We read about how Yaakov Avinu, our forefather, amassed his wealth. The Torah tells us that at the beginning he had a few sheep, and then somehow, in a genius way, he managed to multiply them until he had a herd of sheep. And then he took his sheep and he exchanged them for oxen, for donkeys, for maidservants, and so on and so forth. The Torah then tells us Yaakov Avinu meets his brother Esau, and he tells him the following: Vayehili shor v'chamor tzon ve'eved v'shivcha. I've had oxen, donkeys, and cattle, sheep, which is actually the other way around. Yaakov Avinu changes things around. He first had sheep, and only then he got the donkey and the ox. But when Yaakov tells Esau, he starts off with, I have ox, I have donkeys, and I have sheep. How does he reverse it? So rabbis explain that Yaakov Avinu is teaching us a message for life, because the sheep represent humility. A sheep is a very calm animal, it's peaceful, it's serene. It represents how our life should really be. We should be humble, peaceful, kind people, studious, and people who are trying to do good stuff. However, if our life brings us to a situation where we need to exchange our peaceful sheep for ox to go, to be like a donkey, stubborn and go all the way, we must know that we can do so. And that's what Yaakov is telling Esau. He says, if I have an enemy, if someone's coming for me, I know how to exchange my sheep for oxen. I can even put the ox as a primary and first, because I will fight, I will be stubborn, I'll go all the way. But he also mentions the sheep. Why? Because even when we are stubborn or we're like an ox or we fight, let's always remember that our core, who we are, is the sheep. We try to be peaceful and humble, good people. Right behind me, actually, what you see in the distance is Mount Meron, where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is buried. And he exemplified this idea. He was a person who studied all day. But when the Romans said no Judaism, they tried to fight the Jews, he became an ox. And he did the most amazing stuff for the Jewish people. So I think that this is the message. Standing here on the border of Israel, the time right now, we, of course, our essence, our core is like sheep. We're calm, peaceful people. But if we need to fight, we must learn from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, from Meron at the back, from Yaakov Avinu, from this week's Parsha. We know how to turn a sheep into an ox. We'll fight all the way. And this is my bracha to the IDF, that they're literally right now in the north, in the south, that they strive for peace. But the way to achieve it is being strong and knowing that if we need to, we can go, we'll be stubborn until the last thing. Shabbat Shalom.